Now, a new report led by Vitality in partnership with the Well HQ and Women in Sport has uncovered a worrying trend in women's health, with research showing that less than a quarter of women hit recommended weekly exercise targets.
Yeah, that's right. Joining us now, delighted to say, Olympic gold medalist, Vitality ambassador as well, Dame Jessica Ennis-Hill. Dame Jessica, fantastic to see you. Thank you so much for being on the show this morning. I mean, as someone who always took their fitness very seriously, how concerning is this study?
Yeah, I think it's really concerning. I think, you know, for myself, having the impact that exercise and sport has had on me throughout my career has had huge impact. But to actually read that so many women aren't having that level of exercise throughout various stages in their lives, and that's decreasing is really concerning for not just women who are, you know, later stages of their lives, but also young girls coming through into sport and beyond.
Yeah. But why do you think such a large proportion of women are failing to meet the recommended levels at the moment?
I think there's various factors. I think the report shows that, you know, we go through these different life stages as women, and there's certain barriers that are put in place, whether that's a lack of funding into grassroots sport for young girls. And then the relationship between sports and exercise becomes very disjointed. It very much becomes a focus on losing weight and having a particular body type, as opposed to all those positive relationships that you want to form with exercise from a young age. And then as you go through those life phases, you're faced with the barriers of the work that you do, how often you can exercise, childcare, all the other things that come into your life at that later stage. And it just has this massive cycle and impact on how active women are.
What would you like to see done then to help this issue, help to address the problem?
I think it's not an easy fix. There's not one thing that has to be done that will make a massive impact and change. I think there's various things. I think, firstly, you know, Vitality UK carrying out this research is a massive step to move forward, to understand the barriers that women face with regards to exercising. But I think that there needs to be more funding at grassroots level, like I just said. I think we need to work out how to provide more support to women in the workplace. How can we get more women exercising in groups and enjoying activity, as opposed to feeling like it's a chore and lacking that motivation to carry it through various parts of their life. So there's lots of different things, but I think firstly, having this research out there, understanding the barriers that are out there at the moment and trying to do something collectively about it is a big first step to making a change.
Now, you've obviously had to motivate yourself for years and years, get out there in the cold and try and run when your body wasn't feeling up to it, or you just weren't in the mood. I mean, do you have any practical advice that might help people to become more active?
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. And even, you know, myself and other Olympians, they find it hard to motivate themselves, like you just said, to get out and do those grueling sessions. But I think it's about having some kind of structure, about having those little reminders to say to yourself, do you know, I don't have to go out and do a 2-hour session, but I can find 10 minutes to get my TheraBand out, do some squats, or, you know, go for a walk. And I think also finding ways to exercise and find enjoyment in exercising in groups. So with friends and running clubs or whatever it might be, I think that's a really positive way to, just to find that motivation, that enjoyment in exercising collectively.
I think that's good advice as well. And Lord Coast recently suggested that we could soon see events at World Championships for activities that people can do more easily at home. We were talking yesterday about this idea of this treadmill sort of event where you're on a treadmill. Do you think having more pathways into competitive events could help?
I think so. I think that, you know, sport and our sport and track and field is ever evolving. And I love to see new ways to get the public excited about watching and being a great spectator, but also to get the public engaging as well. I think there's always that feeling of, you know, you sat on the sofa watching the 100-meter sprint and you think, oh, I could run those times, I could give it a go. But actually having ways where you can kind of, you know, test yourself and be part of it in a more in-depth way is a really exciting thing for our sport, I think.
Brilliant. Great. Some good advice there. You've motivated. I think me and you should go out for a little run after this, Matt.
Yeah,
You're busy, aren't you?
a couple of days, maybe. Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm going for a run if you want to come. I'm off for a run now.
That is an offer.
Haven't got my
cannot
thermals,
refuse.
sorry.
Yeah, he's the prime example, Dave Jessica. Always making excuses. That's the problem with Matt.
If it's with Dame Jessica, I'll make an allowance. And
different.
I'll
is
just
it?
wear my
Okay,
shorts.
Fine. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing all that to light. And that's some great advice there as well for people watching at home. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.